talked the other night about potentially making some changes to avoid some of the slow starts. How important is that tonight against a Memphis team who has had some very fast starts, especially this month?
I think any time, there's a responsibility when you start, to get your team off to a good start, set the tone for the evening. We've not done that. That's the goal. That's the task in front of us. We've, figured out some other areas of growth, but, the starts are extremely important. So, we got our eyes on that, and we'll make the appropriate adjustments.
Game like Micah Peavy had the other night do for his confidence, not just defensively because he's been that way, but the way he scored the basketball and the rebounds, and how does that improve his confidence?
Well, I think the confidence comes from the work. He's a great worker. He's in the gym constantly. He and J-Mac are in there working morning, noon, and night, and really building the confidence in the shot and seeing the ball go through the net. He's shooting it as much as anybody right now behind the scenes, but there's nothing like doing it in the game. So going through it in a game, seeing a couple shots drop, big shots, making big momentum plays. Obviously, it starts with his defense. That's where his energy comes from. His spirit comes from the defensive end, and it trickles over to the offensive end. So as he continues to master this offensive side of the ball, he's a significant player for us. So two-way players, that's what you value right now. That's what we're looking for, and he has the ability to do both.
Coach, as you figure out your front court, it just seems like Carlo, I've been following him for a while. It seems like he's turned a corner, grown into his own, however you want to phrase it. It just seems like he's more comfortable both with the team, in the city, just doing a bunch of extra stuff for you now. Just how are you going to help use Carlo? What have you seen from him? How's he going to help you figure out the front court going forward?
Well, he's making it tough on me, because it's like, who are you going to play, who are you not going to play? We got a number of guys playing well in the front court. Obviously DQ, Eve, Carlo, Looney's a pro, he's been there, and then Z as well. It's a crowded front court, but he's put so much pressure on me to continue to play him, through his effort, his physicality, his size, his ability to be a two-way player as well. Offensively, he plays with great pace, gets up the floor, can make a three, can play off a DHO second side stuff for us. And he just does all the intangibles too. He doesn't care if he scores. He doesn't care if he gets any of the credit. He's what you want to be about, as a team. He's a team-first guy. Somewhere back home, somebody taught him well. He was raised well. He was coached well. He's got a spirit about selflessness and team that I just love, and it oozes out of his play. So. He continues to play with great confidence, though, as you said. He looks more and more comfortable the more minutes he gets, but he's earned it. He's earned it. Like, this has not been given to him. He was not pegged to be a, rotational guy to start this season, and to me, we put him out there. I've trusted him. I believe in him. He knows that, and I don't see him dropping off.
A big part of that's maybe selflessness, comes to maybe just team passing is where I want to touch on next. You get like Derek Queen, his passing's been comped to like Jokic. You get Jeremiah Fears with the entry passes, the transition, people get early positions, Sealam, he really gets that. Have you seen them progress on that, just passing, being selfless, sharing the ball, being part of the team, stuff like that?
Well, Queen had that naturally. Queen had that ability coming in, and that was, he has the ability to make plays, and he really, his strength is built out of making others better, his ability to pass and see the floor, and he does it in the full court. I think you referenced Jokic, we got a ways to go, but, the Jokic in the full court it's a problem. He can bring it off a rebound, same thing with Queen. He has vision to kick the ball ahead, find open players. He does it in the half court. I probably got to move him around a little bit more in the half court too to disguise some of his playmaking ability, but and it's just a spirit that trickles throughout our team. When you have young guys like this that are willing to share the ball, move the ball, Fears, I think, has grown in that area, decision-making, his ability to get downhill in transition in the half court, touch the paint, kick out, spray it. We have two young guys. I'll put Peavy in there as well. Peavy's another young guy that he gets it. He's unselfish. He wants to get downhill and make plays for others. So we got a core of young, unselfish players that, trying to make others better. Good. Thanks.